Donald Trump, you are fired. When democracy is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When the Constitution is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. This is not a Democratic issue. It's not a Republican issue. It's our country that's at stake. Watergate and the impeachment inquiry and the articles of impeachment united America. Why did it unite us? It didn't reunite us as Democrats or as Republicans. It united us as Americans because what we said was that more important than anything is the rule of law. The impeachment process against Richard Nixon started with the American people. The House leadership was opposed to acting. The American people said, protect our democracy. It worked because the process was fair. It was based on evidence. It wasn't a gotcha moment. It was a moment that we could be proud of throughout our history. That's what we have to do again.
It is a myth that if we start the impeachment hearings now, that it will rile up Donald Trump's base. And Donald Trump knows how to rile up his base with or without impeachment hearings.
Remember, we did not pick this fight. But we assure you, we plan on finishing this fight. Only thing I can say to you, you look like you're getting your wish. Because I shared with you, even the Speaker of the House said she liked to see him in prison. So although there may be different approaches that we all take, remember, as American citizens, we're in this together. We're in this together. We got to keep our eye on the ball. And that ball is the democracy. That's what this is about. Each and every one of us have a responsibility that this is our democracy. And we're not going to let anybody take control of it.
Democracy is under attack. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When gun violence is happening across our country, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When women's reproductive health care is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
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 Show us what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
I'm impressed to stand here because I always say over and over again, President, Congressman, the most important title is citizen. That's the most important title.
If we want to find out who's going to save us, I want us to look to each other right now, left to right, to our family members, to our neighbors, from Queens to Brooklyn to upstate New York. This is how we're going to win. Because when the people lead, politicians follow.
A president's job is to unite, not to divide. Since Trump has been in office, every marginalized group has felt the wrath of his tyranny. For the majority of my life, I've been labeled illegal, unauthorized, doesn't belong here. And yet, today I feel more uncertain about my future than I ever have before. Every day, I wake up with a deadline looming over my head for when my DACA expires. And every single day, I have to wake up with news that another child, a child who reminds me of me when I first immigrated here, has died. And that Congress is letting this administration get away with it.
Locking up and caging little children and separating families at the
citing a statement signed by over 1,000 former federal prosecutors, Republicans and Democrats. And here's what they have to say about the evidence in the Mueller report. We are former federal prosecutors. We served under both Republican and Democratic administrations at different levels of the federal system. The offices in which we served were small, medium, large, urban, suburban, and rural, and located in all parts of the country. Each of us believes that the conduct of President Trump described in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report would, in the case of any other person not covered by the Office of Legal Counsel policy against indicting a sitting president, would result in multiple felony charges for obstruction of justice.
29 people who work for this administration are no longer there. 24 have resigned, including Sarah Sanders. 5 of them were fired. His A-team turnover rate is 69% as of yesterday. The average rate for a CEO is only 38%.
And there's the threat as well of Donald Trump refusing to accept the election results.
Impeach Trump now! Impeach Trump now! Impeach Trump now!
So, Congress, elected officials, you are on notice. We are not going away.
So my message to Congress, to the Democrats in Congress, is to grow a backbone.
And Congress is a co-equal branch of government. We are also elected by the people, and we have a constitutional duty for oversight of the executive branch. This discussion is about a question of accountability. We are a co-equal branch. We have a responsibility and an obligation because you sent us there not to be bumps on the law, but to pay attention.
They're telling us to wait for the Mueller report. They tell us to wait for the unredacted Mueller report, to wait for more investigations, to wait for bipartisan consensus. But waiting is a privilege. It's a privilege that I don't have. It's a privilege my family doesn't have. It's a privilege that children and migrants languishing in Mexico do not have.
No one is above the law, least of all the man entrusted to hold it. We must impeach Donald Trump.
Donald says that he was poor when he was just a lad. He claims he had a humble start and never was a cad. A small loan from his dad gave him a solid business plan. And now he swindles billions out of everyone he can. Oh, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, racist, braggadocious. Even just the thought of him is something quite atrocious. He can yell it louder, but he'll never sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, racist, braggadocious. Did you really mean to vote for this guy? Did you really mean to vote for this guy?
He thinks that just because he's male that it's okay to grow. Even when the woman very clearly tells him no. The way he's talking, he should have his mouth washed out with soap. He thinks that we believe his lies, he must be high on dope.
Fragile, sexist, racist, braggadocious. Even just the thought of him is something quite atrocious. He can yell it louder, but he'll never sound precocious.